Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, My So-Called Healthy Life. So I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm just going to totally free will this video. I have actually no idea what I'm about to talk about going into it, but it's my birthday, and today I am 45 years old. I almost said 45 degrees. I'm 45 years old, half of 90. Can you believe it? Like, if I make it to 90, I am right now at half of my life. Can you believe that? I know I probably won't make it to 90, but that's beside the point. Maybe then I'm, 2/3 to 70 or whatever. I'm not good at math. I don't have my glasses on. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of think about this today and talk about it on here because, I just did a booktube video and I was thinking about this and I was talking about it on there that, I feel like birthdays are such paramount moments to kind of evaluate our lives and where we're at and, are you accomplishing your dreams? Are you living the life that you fully want to live? Are you getting everything that you want to get out of life and all of that kind of jazz and all that jazz hands. And, for me, I have to say, even though, I work so hard at accomplishing my dreams and trying to have everything in my life that I want to have and, read the most books and experience the most experiences and have the most romance in my relationship and all of that kind of stuff. Even then, I still feel like I'm falling short. Maybe that's because I set my expectations way too high. But I also think that it's because through the years, I have learned that there is no dream too big to dream. There's, that if today I said, I was talking to my husband yesterday and he was like, and this is all very superficial what I'm about to say. And he said, if you could a year from now be exactly where you wanted to be, where would you be? And I said, well, number one, I would have the best body of my life. I said, number two, I would have some international modeling campaign that they used my face and me and my personality, like the Dos Equis guy or something like that. And that would be for me, total validation and doing something that I love and being used for it. And I said, I would love to be in a movie and I want to have my next 2 books published and out. I'd love to have them on the New York Times bestseller list. And I kind of just said it like that, right? And he kind of laughed and I go, what's funny to you about that? And he goes, you just sound so sure about it. I go, oh, I'm absolutely sure about it. And he goes, what do you mean you're absolutely sure about it? I said, yeah, I'm absolutely sure that I can make that happen. If I really wanted that bad enough, I could make that happen. And the reality is that I stand in the way of making my own dreams happen, if that makes sense. And so, I have to be willing to step back and evaluate my life and say, okay, what do I want next from my life? What do I want my life to look like? And every year on my birthday, I always do that. I always step back and I always say, what do I want my life to look like this year? What dreams do I want to accomplish? What things do I want to have in my life that I don't have? And I actually write them down, and every year I put them in an envelope, and then I look at them a year later. Now, stupid, because I'm in Mexico right now, which that's not the stupid part of it. This place is absolutely incredible and gorgeous. And if I could spend my birthday anywhere in the entire world with my husband, this would be, well, maybe Bora Bora, but this is a good second because this is incredible. And it's very much an inspiring place to spend my birthday. But when I get home, I need to reevaluate my envelope and I need to look in there because I put 10 things down every year. And I've talked about this on here before that I make these lists that are kind of too big. But last year I remember I made 10 things and I need to kind of look at it and see what did I accomplish and what didn't I accomplish. And the real question is, those things I didn't accomplish, why didn't I? Was it because I reevaluated them and I realized I didn't want them in my life? Or was it because something blocked me from it, like fear? Yesterday, and I'm gonna, I talked about this in my vlog and you guys can go watch it. Yesterday, I went and I swam with the Dolphins, and I never thought I would do this. And it was very important for me on two reasons. Number one, that we had to go somewhere that was highly ecological and environmental, where the dolphins were safe and it was not some shady ass place. And so we really looked into finding a place like that. And we went to this place called Dolphins in Mexico, and it's one of those, and they're really into saving the habitat and all this kind of stuff. But when I went, I had no intention of swimming with the dolphins. It was something that my husband was going to do, and I was just going to go with him to kind of observe it and watch it because I was, too terrified because dolphins look like sharks, and if you know, my biggest fear is sharks. And when I got there was a moment where they asked us to just jump in the water. It all looked like a lagoon, like a man-made lagoon, but it was really not man-made because there was moss and everything. It was gorgeous. And natural habitat for dolphins, basically. And they ask us to swim over the dolphins, and there's literally 5 dolphins swimming all around, right? And I'm I cannot do this. I mean, it was literally, to me, it was jumping into a pit of sharks. And my husband looked at me and he turned and he goes, I understand you don't want to do this, babe. He was like, but listen, he goes, I really want to do this. I wanted to do this since I was 7. So just, if you're not going to do it, just sit down, because I was like making it kind of about me. And I looked at the woman and I was like, I can do this. And she was like, are you sure? And I was like, absolutely. And I just dove in and I like swam over to where Alex was, and he had this big smile on his face. And you know, it was the most incredible experience of my entire life to swim with this dolphin. We had such a great time, and it was such a teaching moment. The place that we went was very good about teaching us about dolphins and how to interact with them and how to be, you know, make them feel safe. And, you know, she taught us like what they do for the environment and things like that, and why they're so important to our ecosystem. And it was such a cool experience. And it wasn't one of these things, these like joyride with dolphins. It was very much just being in the water with dolphins. And for me, to have this thing swimming by me with a fin was absolutely terrifying. I didn't have any fears. And I realized in that moment that fear is what I make it. And I just told myself, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna just be unafraid, and I'm gonna jump in this water with my husband and enjoy this experience. And I had such a great time, and it was so funny because after that, I just felt elated. I felt so good, and I was like, well, that's one more fear to tag off, you know? My biggest fear of my entire life. Now, I'm not ready to go cage diving with the sharks, but I did feel very, very good about the fact that I accomplished this big risk, this big dream of mine in my life. So now it's like, dream a bigger dream. What do you want to do next? What big risk can you take? And maybe I'll turn into this 45-year-old guy that's a huge risk taker, because that is not something that I would identify myself as. I'm not somebody that likes to go bungee jumping or zip lining or any of that kind of stuff. Maybe I'm going to open it. Maybe that I learned yesterday that is who I want to be. But I would never have learned that had I not tried something different. And I think that's the key to life, is that you have to try something different, and you have to dream bigger dreams, and you have to constantly reevaluate your dreams. Not only for what they are, but for what is stopping you from achieving them. So what is stopping you from having your dreams? That's the question. I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.